Welcome back to Coach's Corner. We now have a visit with the head football coach of our Ponca City Wildcats, Josh Allen. The Wildcats get set for the Shawnee Wolves this Friday night, another road game for Ponca City. The Wildcats have opened with losses to Enid and to Guthrie. And Coach, I kind of like to review kind of both those games, not take a lot of time, but both games saw a lot of good things by our football team. 1-point loss to Enid, a close game in the loss to very highly ranked Guthrie, and I'm sure there are things you want to work on, but things you're pleased with both ball games.
Yes, like I said, there are a lot of positives, especially when you are comparing a little bit from last year to this year. We're made a lot of strides. Our defensive front seven has done a great job against the run so far this season, and if you've watched any of those games, you can tell that we're much improved in that area. And overall, our whole defense, I think, our defending the pass too, we're much better. So our overall defense has done a good job this year. Offense, we haven't really brought the both aspects of run pass together just yet. We're kind of hoping to do that this week. But Enid, we kind of ran the ball at times, not all the time, but Enid, we at times ran the ball well, but didn't execute in the pass game. Guthrie, we more or less did a better job passing the ball, but didn't. We're kind of a one-sided attack for most of the night. So we kind of need both aspects of the offense to click this week. But again, defense has been playing very solid. Special teams in some area, there hasn't been a kickoff return ran back, or our coverage has been decent. Kicking part has been a little shaky, and we got to get more consistent there. And we had, in fact, that was one of the key things in the Enid loss, was that we had a PAT blocked. So we got to get better in those areas.
Let's go to the Guthrie game, which our fans watched on Friday. And if you've looked obviously at the film, I just have my remembering of how the game went. But the final score was 24-6. But it seemed like we had some opportunities that were just barely missed. A pass overthrown, a penalty, just some things that happened that kept that ball game from even being closer than it was.
Yeah, honestly, we counted up. There's about five in the passing game. There was about 5 opportunities where we really got behind Guthrie's defense, and we did not execute on. Actually, excuse me. There were 6 more opportunities. We executed on the big 74-yard pass, and then there was 6 more opportunities that we did. We got behind them. We got behind them, and we missed all 6 of those. So, looking back. If we just hit half, let's say we just hit half of those, possibly a couple of those might have even scored, or to at least inside the red zone. So that helps out right there. But we didn't do it though. So we only were about 1 out of 7 on the big shots that we hit. 1 scored, and then we really looked. We got about 6 times we got behind them again. So without the game plan from the coaching side of it, we grade ourselves hard. And some games are better than others. We thought we had a good game plan. Our pass protection against Guthrie was honestly pretty solid, and they're a very pressure-oriented team. And we had a good pass protection scheme against them. And then we had a good little scheme of getting guys open. We just, again, the throw and catch, you got to finish it off, and we did not finish the playoff. But other than that, on the offensive side, your question was, we missed some opportunities there. And then, I'm not, I don't want to comment too much ever on officiating, but we felt like there was possibly some, and I say word possible, not always, but there maybe could have been something we could have been, a little helped out a little better in some of those areas. That's all I'll say about that. So,
defensively too, you changed the game plan up a bit for a team you knew was going to run the football and was going to come right at you. And I think their longest run coach was 21 or 22 yards. After the ball game, when we looked at the final numbers, did you have the feeling that, mission accomplished? We did defensively in the run game do what we want to do against Guthrie.
Yeah, honestly, when you look at Guthrie's history for the past decade, they're not used to. They're used to trouncing on people physically running the ball. Usually we held them. For under 130 yards and rushing, and that. They're not used to that total, and then so Now, the way they scored, to answer your question, if I would have taken that defensive effort against Guthrie, yeah, anytime. They either had to make a miraculous catch to score, or they went on, again, a couple of really long drives, and where they had to pick up a lot of third downs. So I thought our defense throughout most of the game played great, and we had a lot of tackle. We had multiple tackle for losses against them. Again, just Guthrie usually kind of imposes their will on the ground, and I thought we held up our own against that.
And we might mention, we fumbled, which we hadn't done. We fumbled down there and gave them a field goal. So really, that field goal was 3 points.
Sure.
You wanted to make Guthrie throw the ball, and to their credit, they were able to hit some passes too.
They did. Yeah. I mean, the philosophy was we were going to pack the box, which we did. And try to defend against their run game, which in the most part we did there. And so we left our corners, and we really just had one safety and 2 corners against their receivers, and our corners were on an island, and we were playing soft on them. So they did a good job of executing intermediate passes. But at the same time, we did a good job coming up and tackling. We did not know, there was never a slip off, a missed tackle where they ran up the sideline for a big play, which in maybe a couple of years past you would have seen some of that. So just overall, our tackling is so much better. But yes, we were part of the game plan was we were going to stop the run game, play for the deep throw, and if they can execute the intermediate pass, then so be it, and then we come up and tackle. So.
This week, the Wildcats go to Shawnee, and Coach, let's talk about the Shawnee football team a little bit.
Very good. Best offense so far we've seen this year, no doubt. John Jacobs, our quarterback, 3-year starter, Division I commitment to East Carolina. They also have a left tackle that's committed to Tulsa. I believe he's 74. I can't remember. But anyway, there's 2 Division I commitments there. They're big on not just him. They're big on the offensive line. They're an overall big high school football team when you look at height and weight. The quarterback poses both a run and pass threat, and Shawnee is physical. They'll run the ball, and yet they're good enough to execute some pass plays. Both short passes and long passes and screens and things like that. So we're getting a little more X and O diversity than we have been the last 2 weeks. We're going to see a balanced offense, an offense that will do screens, do throws, short and long throws, quick throws, and also run the ball. And so a couple different formations. So our defense has got its toughest test at this point. Offensively, we need to hold up our part, and I think we can. I think we've seen a couple defenses that in the first 2 weeks that are just as good, and I think offensively we need to have a breakout game, and I think we can. So.
Well, another road game and another big game. You mentioned their quarterback. This will probably be the best quarterback we see all year, right, Coach?
Yes. I would rank him as probably not, as of right now. I'm looking forward, probably the top quarterback that Ponca City will see.
John Jacobs, and you're going to say Cordell Grundy from Booker T the next week. Mm-hmm. But again, non-district game, Coach. I hope people realize all this too. After this weekend's ball games, you could be 3-0, you could be 0-3, anywhere in between. But the most important thing is week 1, week 2, week 3, get better every week so you can get ready for district play.
Sure.
And you may disagree. I thought you got better against Guthrie than you were against Dignity.
Absolutely. No, we did. We did get better. I thought our poise, we were more calm on offense. Where, again, we were a little hype, maybe a little spastic in some areas. We were more calm and executed some things. Defense still continued its great play, but did get better with a big run challenge. And that was Guthrie might be one of our biggest run challenges all year long. So no, I thought we got better in some areas. And your great point though. If we just worry about ourselves, I mean, listen, there's a lot of teams that go to state championships that start off 1-2, and or however the season starts. That it's not how you. I know Carl Albert a couple of years ago, or maybe recently, they didn't start off well, and they ended up being a pretty decent team. So those things work itself out. It's not really how you start out in September. It's how you are in October. and how much better you've gotten. So that's a great point, and that's our goal is playoffs. But don't get me wrong, we would sure love. I mean, each week we want W's around here, and I know it's non-district, but we want a big W this week, and feel like it's very possible, and we have a real good chance of pulling one off.
We hope you'll make your way down to Shawnee to support the Wildcats at 7 o'clock on Friday night at Shawnee for Ponca City Wildcat football. For Coach Allen, Phil Turney, have a great week, everybody.